Imagine walking into a building you've never been inside before. A place so clean and silent it feels more like a museum than an office. You're there for a job. Just a simple delivery. Nothing special. Nothing unusual. Until you turn a corner. And everything you thought you knew about your life stops making sense. There it is. Hanging on the wall of a billionaire's private office. A photograph. Not a painting. Not a landscape. A face. Her face. The face of the woman you loved. The woman you buried. The woman whose absence carved a hole in your chest that never closed. Your hands go cold. Your breath catches. You blink. Once. Twice. But the picture doesn't change. And one question rises inside you like a crack in glass. Why is my dead wife's photo hanging in this man's office? Max Carey was the kind of man people didn't notice twice. 34 years old. Delivery driver in Columbus, Ohio. Same worn silver pickup. Same 3 work shirts on rotation. Head down. Hands busy. Always moving. But Max's life wasn't just survival. It was responsibility. Every morning before sunrise he made pancakes for his daughter Fiona. Not because he loved cooking. He didn't. But because she loved them. Fiona was 7. Smart. Gentle. Stubborn in ways that reminded him of her mother. Her mother was Alexis. She had been gone 2 years. Cancer. 8 months of fighting. Then silence. Max didn't break down the way people expected. He just continued. Because Fiona still needed breakfast. Still needed school. Still needed bedtime stories. Still needed a father who didn't fall apart. So Max pushed forward. Even when grief followed him like a shadow that never left. He missed Alexis in fragments. A song she used to hum. The empty side of the bed. The way Fiona laughed and sounded exactly like her. He never talked about it. He worked instead. Saved instead. Told himself the future mattered. He was trying to move Fiona into a better school district. That was the goal. That was what kept him going. And on the morning everything changed, he picked up a new delivery route. A corporate district on the east side of the city. He didn't think anything of it. Just another job. Just another building. He was wrong. The Connell Tower rose like glass and steel ambition. 42 floors of silence and wealth. Inside, marble floors echoed under Max's boots. Security checked him like he didn't belong. A man named Isaac Sands barely looked at him while issuing instructions. Deliveries go to the 4th floor. Max shook his head. The slip says 38th. Isaac frowned, studied the paperwork, then stepped away to call upstairs. Minutes later, a woman arrived. Melissa Grant. Professional. Controlled. The kind of person who spoke in efficient sentences and avoided unnecessary emotion. She escorted Max to the elevator without conversation. They rose in silence. 38 floors up. The doors opened into another world, soft lighting, glass walls, expensive air. Melissa led him to a corner office and left him alone with the package. Max placed the box on the table and turned to leave. That's when he saw it. A framed photograph on the wall. A woman standing outside a hospital. Blue cardigan. Hair tied back. A soft, familiar smile. Max stopped breathing. His chest tightened. No. That wasn't possible. He stepped closer. Each step heavier than the last. His mind tried to reject what his eyes already knew. That smile. That face. That presence. Alexis. His wife. Dead. Gone. But there she was. On a billionaire's wall. His vision blurred. The room tilted. The past and present collided in his chest. Melissa returned and froze when she saw his face. Is everything all right? She asked. Max didn't look away from the photo. That woman, he whispered. Who is she? Melissa hesitated. That's a personal photograph belonging to Mr. Connell. Max turned slowly. That's my wife. Silence. Then confusion. That's impossible, Melissa said carefully. Her name was Alexis Carey, Max said. She died 2 years ago. The air shifted. Isaac arrived moments later, tension already in his posture. Sir, you need to come with me. Max didn't move. I need answers. Isaac stepped closer. If you don't come willingly, I'll call the police. Max looked at the photograph one last time. Then he left. That night, Max barely slept. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw her face. The next morning, he made a decision. He went back. Clean shirt. Steady hands. Fiona dropped at school. Then the Connell Tower again. This time, Melissa was waiting. But something had changed. She didn't call security. Instead, she studied him quietly. I made some calls, she said. The photo has been in Mr. Connell's possession for 6 years. Max swallowed. And? He agreed to meet you. The office was quiet when Max entered again. But this time, someone was waiting. Micah Connell. The billionaire. Tall. Calm. Controlled. But not cold. He looked at Max for a long moment. Then said something unexpected. You look like a man who loved her. Max couldn't answer. Sit down, Micah said. So he did. And then Micah told the truth. 6 years ago, his life had collapsed. His company failed. His health failed. He ended up in a hospital alone, unsure if he would survive. No family. No visitors. No one. Until a volunteer entered his room. A woman. She wasn't assigned to him. She just came in. She sat beside him. Talked to him. Brought him tea. Stayed for hours. She told him something he never forgot. Fear is just love with nowhere to go. She didn't know who he was. She didn't care. She simply showed up. And then she left. He never saw her again. But he rebuilt his life because of that night. And he kept one photo from it. A candid image taken by a nurse. A woman sitting beside a hospital bed. Smiling gently. That woman was Alexis. Max didn't speak for a long time. His throat felt tight. That was her, he finally said. Yes, Micah replied quietly. They talked for hours after that. Max told him about Alexis, not the illness, not the ending, but her life. The way she hummed while cooking. The way she remembered people's names. The way she gave without announcing it. Micah listened like it mattered more than anything else in his world. Before Max left, he took a photo of the framed image. Micah stopped him. Take the original, he said. Max shook his head. I can't, Micah replied simply. You already gave her to me once. Now I'm giving her back. Days later, Melissa tracked down the nurse who had been on duty that night. Claudia Fitz. She confirmed everything. Alexis had volunteered that night. But she had also quietly paid for meals for patients with no family. Out of her own pocket. No recognition. No record. Just kindness. Max sat in his truck afterward and cried for a long time. Not from pain this time. From understanding. That night, he told Fiona everything. About the hospital. About the stranger. About the woman who changed a billionaire's life without ever knowing it. Fiona listened carefully. Then said, Mommy did that. Max nodded. Yes, baby. She did. After a long silence, Fiona said, I want to do stuff like that too. Max looked away, overwhelmed. You already do, he said. The photograph now hangs in their living room. Not as a mystery, but as truth. Alexis never needed recognition. She didn't need to be remembered by the world. She only needed to show up when it mattered. And she did. Again and again. Quietly. Consistently. Without applause. Max still works long hours. Still struggles. Still grieves. But something has changed. The grief is no longer just loss. It is also meaning. Because now he knows The woman he loved did not disappear when she died. She left echoes. In hospitals. In strangers. In lives she never expected to change. There are versions of this story where Max walks away and never asks questions. Where the truth stays buried. But he didn't do that. He asked. And that changed everything. Because sometimes the smallest decision, to speak, to ask, to not walk away, opens a door to a truth bigger than pain. Alexis Carey didn't have wealth. She didn't have fame. But she had presence. And that was enough to ripple through lives she would never see again. Max thought he had lost her. But what he really lost was only part of the story. The rest had been quietly changing the world all along. And still is.